In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the methods of measuring a stock and where the measurements are taken from. We'll also be taking a look at how we measure the stocks accurately with our stock measuring jig. Now let's take a look at the stock measurements and where they're taken from. We'll start off with length of pull. This is from the front of the trigger blade and normally measured to the center of the pad. But you can also take from the trigger blade to the heel and also the trigger blade to the toe. To measure the length of pull, you can simply use a ruler, but we have a tool to gauge these measurements. Length of pull at the center, at the heel, and at the toe. Next up, we're going to take a look at drop. Now, drop is measured at various points along the stock, taken from the line of the rib or the aiming line. Now, you can see this by putting a straight edge along the rib, and the measurements are taken at the nose and at the heel. Some stocks have a Monte Carlo. So for instance, this stock I have here has a Monte Carlo, so we'll take 3 drop measurements at the nose, at the Monte Carlo, and at the heel. So next up is pitch. Now, pitch is the angle of the pad taken at a right angle from the aiming line. The pitch is the internal angle of the aiming line and the pad face. If the pad is at a perfect right angle, we'd say the pitch is 90 degrees. The pad on this stock is 86 degrees. We would say the pitch measured less than 90 degrees has down pitch. If your pitch measures more than 90 degrees, then we would say it's got up pitch. Next up is cast. Now again, cast can be taken from various points on the stock, and it's taken from the center line of the rib and is the amount the stock bends to the right or to the left. Cast is usually measured off the line of the rib at the nose, at the heel, and at the toe. So these are the main measurements of the stock. There are things such as palm swell which can also be measured. But now we're going to take a look at how we accurately measure the stock using the stock measuring jig. Here's our stock measuring jig. We can use it to measure drop, pitch and cast. We start by fitting the shotgun into the jig. Rest the muzzle in the guide and butt the lower part of the rib against the rubber stop. Use the spring-loaded lever to clamp the barrel in place. Now tighten up the rib clamp to align the rib in the center. We'll start by measuring drop. You can slide the measure down the post to different positions. We align it to the nose of the stock and push the measure out to take the reading. Now we slide the measure up to the heel and repeat the process to measure the drop at heel. Next up is pitch. Adjust the sliding measure so the folding plate rests across the surface of the pad. Adjust accordingly to measure the pitch. Once the plate is resting across the pad, you'll see the reading of the pitch on the protractor on the side. Cast measurements are taken at the nose, heel and toe. Slide the measure to the nose. Use the small measurement gauge on the measure, as cast at nose will usually be within 10mm either side. For cast at heel and toe, slide the measure to the pad, and using the folding plate you can take the measurement reading of the heel and finally the toe. So that's done and the measurements are taken. You can remove the shotgun from the jig. Remember the rib clamp and the spring-loaded lever before you remove the shotgun. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learned something about stock measuring. And if you've liked the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.